Hello, hello. So I am back. I'm back to share the rest of my journey with, going from being a single mom to getting fired from my job to starting my business to getting clients to losing my clients to going back to work and then having my daughter be sick. And being hospitalized for with having pneumonia was very trying times, and it was very emotional. It was a very emotional experience for me because I could have lost my daughter, and that changed my life. So that was my why. And in the Billionaire course, I do talk a lot about my why, and she was my why, because I knew that was something I was never going to let happen again. I was never going to put a job before her. I didn't know how I was going to build this business. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do differently this time around. I just knew that I had to do it. I knew that I had to start working on trying to take care of my family without having assistance, because I was tired of being on assistance. At this time, I was on Section 8. I had child care. I was on public assistance. I was on a lot of assistance, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. But I did not allow, me having children, taking care of 7 kids, to be a victim. And I also did not allow me to keep me in this place. I knew that I had a purpose. I knew that I deserved more than what I had at that time. And I was just really willing and ready to put in the work to grow the business. But this time I was going to make sure that I did everything that I did wrong the first time. I knew for sure I was going to make sure I had it right. So like I said, these are not failures. These are lessons. When you have a business, even if you're trying to work out, whatever you're trying to do, when you're going through life and you want to change something, it takes practice. And it takes those lessons, those life lessons that you actually learn from. So it's what you do with those lessons that makes changes and that comes with growth. Because if you did it once and then you turn around and do it again, it's like you didn't really learn from that lesson. And so this is where I decided to do things differently. I decided to go back. I joined this nonprofit organization called Women Venture. They taught me how to really set my business up, because again, the way that I had my business set up the first time, it wasn't set up. It wasn't structured properly. I had no protection. I had no bank account. I didn't have anything. And so when you are in business, you need to make sure that you are fully structured, that you have protection with insurance, liability, anything that could be a potential risk for you. I also had my business set up as a sole proprietorship, which meant if anything was ever to happen, I would be held responsible, because a sole proprietorship, and let me just go on and share my disclaimer. I'm not a CPA accountant, but this is just my experience and this is my story that I'm sharing with you. But at the time, I was registered as a sole proprietorship. And when you're a sole proprietorship, that basically means that you are still responsible for your business. So it's, your name and then doing business as whatever your business is. So that means any assets that you may have, that business, you're liable for it if the business is ever sued. And so I didn't know that I shouldn't have been structured as a sole proprietorship. And so all of these things I had to learn the hard way through my journey. And I wanted to make sure that I got it right. So I started actually investing in business, learning how to do business, because we don't know. We are used to being employees, so we just show up to work and we just do the job. And that was my logic when it came to starting my business. I have everything I need. All I got to do is get some clients and show up and do the job. But that is further from the truth. You have to make sure that your business is legitimized. You have to make sure that it's structured correctly. You have to make sure that you have the right systems, accounting stuff in place, or else you are you are setting up for disaster. I was gonna say failure, but hey, again, those are lessons, so we're not gonna talk about failure. But anyhow, so I took a step back. I took some classes on, okay, how do I properly set my business up? I learned how to do all of that. And so I set my business up the correct way this time. And this is what I teach in the Billing-Naire course about mindset, number one, because we have to make sure that we change our mindset. This time, my mindset was, I'm going to do this. It's not going to be, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm afraid. Oh, no. No, I had a reason. My why was my daughter. I needed to be there for her. I needed to make sure that if she ever had to be in the hospital again, or if she ever, had to do whatever, therapies, whatever, I could be there. And I'm so happy I did, because my daughter ended up having a rhizotomy, which is a back surgery on her spine. And she was in the hospital for almost 4 weeks. And guess what? I was there. You know why? Because I did not have a job to try to tell me what I could and couldn't do. And so these are the things that you appreciate when you finally step out and you start your own business, and you know that you have income coming in, and you know that you also have that time, because what is our biggest asset? It's not money, it's time. And so I had the time to be able to be there for my daughter through her surgeries, because she's had multiple surgeries, and I've been able to be there for her. She's had multiple therapy sessions. And so I was just in a good place. God put me in a good place where I was able to care for her, but also be able to start my own business and put in the time that I needed to build that as well. And so I really started focusing on how to, building connections, learning about the business, because a lot of people don't learn about the business. They just want to, okay, I just want clients, or let me just do the job. No, you have to focus on the business, because that's what is going to lead you. It's the business part. And so for me, I started to set things up the right way, to structure it the right way. I end up getting a business bank account. I end up structuring it as a S corporation. It's not an L. A lot of people like to call it an LLC, but the tax filing code is called an S corporation. That's how you actually file taxes. And that just means the limited liability comes under the S corp, that shows that you are not responsible for the business. So if the business was to be sued, they couldn't come after you. So I had to learn all these different things. I had to learn how to at first, I used to wait on checks to come in the mail from my healthcare providers that would take all day. And sometimes, I had expenses I had to pay, but I learned how to automate my payment. So I could actually do APW, automatic payment withdrawal, so I can get my money on time. I learned all these things, and this is what I'm here to teach you. This is what I'm here to share with you, so you can set your business up and structure it the right way. And so once I got the business side down packed, because I didn't have that when I first started, this is when I was able to start even targeting my doctors. Because at first, when I was doing my marketing, I just was sending out all this information to all different type of providers. I thought, I want to work with all doctors. Well, there's no such thing as that. Anybody in business knows, and I don't care what industry you have, I don't care what business you have. If you are a business, you have to have a target audience. You cannot market to everyone. Everybody has a target audience. And so I knew nothing about that at first. I thought that I could just work with all doctors. No, you cannot. If you're trying to just target all doctors, or if you're just trying to target all these different people, you will drive yourself crazy, because you're not sending out a direct message. When you're working with a target audience, you learn to speak their language. You know their pain points. You know how to do their specific specialty when it comes to billing, when it comes to denial management, when it comes to accounts receivables, when it even comes to practice management software. So these are things you need to know. Even if I even have a target market when it comes to being a consultant, when it comes to being a coach, when it comes to being an influencer. Everybody has a target market. That doesn't mean that you can't go outside that target audience, or you won't attract people outside of your audience, but you have to have a target audience to work with. So once I learned that, that's when things changed for me, and this is when my business started to grow. I'm going to end this video here, and I will see you over the next video to continue my journey to 6 figures with my medical billing business. Bye.